While casuals are having their fun with Mario Kart World, hardcore gamers like myself are enjoying the true gamer game, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Nah, okay, I'm kidding, but don't sleep on this one, it's actually pretty good. Welcome Tour features a bunch of quizzes, tech demos, and fun minigames, and today we'll just focus on these ones. There are 20 different minigames in this game, so let's rank them from the worst to the best, shall we? Find the Strongest Rumble is a minigame that's meant to show you the huge improvements that HD Rumble 2 brings to the table. And to be honest, it's not that good. Basically, you're meant to move the mouse around a map and the Joy-Con will rumble, and when you feel the strongest rumble of them all, you click and you hope for the best. I do feel like this minigame requires you to be a bit lucky, cause it's really difficult to tell the difference in rumble intensity as precisely as the game wants you to be. Yeah, this one's not that good. Feel the Shape is lame. This minigame will make you move the mouse around to try to guess the shape you are touching. This is all done using HD Rumble 2 once again, and it's less than ideal in my opinion. You kinda just move your hand around and hope for the best. Some shapes are quite easy to distinguish, but sometimes they all feel the same and you kinda just guess randomly. Yeah, I didn't like that one. Matching pairs of cards is always interesting, but doing it using HD Rumble 2 actually makes things way less fun. Basically, under all of these cards, there's a sound waiting to be matched, and well, the sound is produced by the vibration of the Joy-Con too. It's not always easy, as some sounds feel very similar, and since you can only flip 2 cards at once, you're bound to lose some time because of the random placement of these cards. I don't know man, this one's just not it. The goal of Scrape Off is to, well, scrape off all of the goo that's on your screen. You'll be holding your Joy-Con as a mouse and will be moving it up and down until everything is clean. There's no depth to this game, you just move your hands as fast as possible. It actually makes my hands hurt, so I don't like this minigame. 4K Pixel Hunt is exactly what the title says. You'll be looking at your 4K TV and will need to find 5 little moving pixels. Maybe I just have bad eyesight, but this game is really difficult for me. I actually have to get so close to the screen if I want to find them all. And by close, I mean that close. Yeah, maybe I should go to my eye doctor, eh? So yeah, finding pixels on a 4K monitor isn't that fun. But you know what isn't that fun either? Finding more tiny pixels, but on a Switch 2 LCD screen. Yep, it's the exact same minigame, but played on the Switch 2 screen. Wow, revolutionary! Quick click isn't the best. You have to move your cursor and tap on a target with some lightning fast reflexes. I mean, less than a second fast. And that's all there is to it. Sure, eventually there's gonna be more targets, moving targets, and even targets that appear and vanish, but the goal still remains the same. Click ASAP. Yeah, it's not that original. Speed Maze is a game that is meant to show you how precise the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls are, and to do that, you'll need to navigate a ball through an electrified maze. If you touch the walls, then too bad, start over. If you want all the medals, you're gonna have to move quite fast, and this is easier said than done. This game is a bit tedious, especially in later levels when they just become insanely difficult. I mean, moving walls and less than a second to get there? Really? This minigame is also a bit traumatic because it reminds me of this. Yeah, those who know, know. And those who don't, trust me, you don't want to know what this is. This next minigame is meant to teach you why the new GL and GR buttons can be cool. The way it does that is by tying them to the A and B button and then forcing you to push a bunch of buttons together. Like normally, you couldn't press all of these at once, but now you can. Basically, it is some sort of Simon Says minigame where you must do what the text down there tells you to. push R, release R, push A, push B. Yeah, you get it? It's not the most exciting or fun minigame, but I guess that if you like memory games and fast-paced button pressing, then this one's gonna be right up your alley. Y'all remember this little Fisher-Price toy where you put the shapes in the holes? You know, that baby game? Well, it's time for you to be a baby again, because this is exactly what Slot in the Shapes is. You'll be using the mouse to move and tilt the shapes around until they fit in the holes. And eventually, they'll even be moving, making it more difficult. It's kind of fun, to be fair, but it's a bit too short. In Breakstroke, you'll be swimming in this pool by moving both Joy-Con controllers at the same time to swim as fast as you can. This minigame has potential, but it's way too short. In about 8 seconds, you can get to the end of the level and win, and that's just not enough time to start having fun. I wish there were more levels for this minigame, cause in its current state, it's just not worth it. Okay, I have to admit that guess the frame rate feels more like a tech demo than it does a minigame, but hey, whatever. Basically, you're gonna be shown some baseballs, basketballs, and other fast-moving things, and the goal here is to tell at what frame rate you saw them. It's kind of easy when the frame rate is super low or super high, but when you try to compare like 60 FPS to 80 FPS, well, it starts looking all the same to me. Yeah, this one's kinda cool. I find Guess the Angle to be quite the original minigame. It's meant to show you how cool the stand for the Switch 2 is, allowing you to set the console in pretty much any angles. And well, this is what this minigame is. You will be shown an angle and you gotta try to match it as best as you can in real life. It starts off easy with the screen showing you what your angle should look like, but eventually you'll have to guess those angles without seeing an on-screen hint. This makes it way more challenging, but oh so fun. Are you sick and tired of waiting for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond to release? Do you want to play it right now? Well, I don't have it with me, but I do have Balloon Hunt, which is the next best thing. Basically, you'll be moving around a room with the left Joy-Con while aiming using the right one as a mouse, and the goal is to pop some balloons. It's super simple, but highly effective. You gotta move around the room and find those hidden balloons as fast as possible. And well, it works surprisingly well. Heck, I might play Metroid Prime 4 using the mouse controls if they work that well. So once again, you'll be using your Joy-Con as a mouse for this one, but this time you'll be playing golf. The goal is to put the ball in the hole as fast as you can. Doesn't matter how many hits it takes you. This minigame is all about being quick. The minigame starts off pretty simple, but will quickly add holes and pits that you must avoid at all costs. I did notice that there's always a perfect angle that you can hit to avoid all of the obstacles, but having this angle just isn't simple. The minigame works great and it's actually super enjoyable. Okay, this next one is pretty original. Basically, you're gonna be playing Twister, but instead of using your whole body, you're just gonna be using your fingers on the Nintendo Switch 2 screen. Yup, this game will tell you a color to put your finger on, and you'll have to do it while holding it down. It starts off easy, but it gets chaotic quickly, and sometimes, well, you're in some weird positions where there's just no way for you to win. It's actually a really fun and interesting game, and there's modes that will mix up the colors, shuffle them around, and even add more. I really enjoyed this one quite a lot. But get ready to clean your screen afterwards, because it's going to leave your fingerprints all over it. Man, this thing's dirty! If you're feeling nostalgic about your kindergarten days, well, Color the Shapes will bring you back to the past. This one is super simple. You gotta color the shapes without going over the outlines. It's kind of simple, but at the same time, if you mess up by one single pixel, you'll have to start over. The first few shapes are quite easy, but eventually you'll get to a flower with lots of details all over the place. My favorite one still remains the snake, because you gotta move your Joy-Con all over the place as fast as possible. Man, I never knew coloring could be so stressful! Dodge the Spiked Balls is a minigame where you will need to use the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls to move a little spaceship around while dodging spiked balls falling from the sky. It starts off pretty easy, but the difficulty picks up real quick with more and more spiked balls falling from the sky. There's even bigger ones and some that move really fast. Eventually, the game will also ask you to grab stars while you dodge the balls, and that makes everything much more intense but also way more fun. I do have to admit that the mode where you control 2 spaceships at once using both Joy-Con was way too difficult for my tiny brain. I just couldn't do it. My brain just doesn't work that way. Can I get someone to help me out using GameShare? Oh, it's not compatible? Bummer. Okay, this next one is actually kind of funny. Facial Impressions is using the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, and with it, you'll have to mimic the facial expression that will be displayed. And yes, that means everything. The eyebrows, the mouth, the eyes, the angle of your head. This one's super original, and well, it makes you feel like a VTuber, so there's that. I can see this becoming a minigame in a future Mario Party title with everyone making funny faces. That'd be sick. Next up is Stunt Driving. And wow, is this one fun! You'll be holding the Joy-Con 2 in mouse mode yet again, but this time to drive this little car. You'll move left and right, and you'll tilt the Joy-Con to grab some speed boosts and avoid some hazards. There's even switches that unlock special paths in order to go fast. And man, I wish there were more than 2 tracks to choose from. This one was actually super fun, and I can see this becoming a Mario Party mini game eventually. It is seriously super fun, and the controls work great. And that's why, in my opinion, it is the best minigame in the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. So yeah, this game was really quite fun, and I learned a lot about the Switch 2. Personally, I think it should have been included with the Switch 2 for free, but you know what, for 10 bucks, it's actually still a great experience and worth it. Thanks a lot for watching, tap the cards on screen right now for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!